Welcome to tonight's call, Monday night. It's week 7 of the 90-day game plan. I would like to introduce for our recognition tonight a husband and wife team, Jen and Blake Mitchell, living in St. George, Utah. They are a 3-star Golden Circle, 1-star Crystal Executive, and I'm super excited that they are going to go through all the teams and all the great recognition that we have going on in this 90-day game plan. So take it away, Blake.
All right, everybody, we got a lot going on here. Let's start off with Janny Elo and Chris and Heidi West's team. We've got Kelly who enrolled and is in the first consultant, and it beats Kelly. We also have Doctors Bo and Jamie Mullen enrolled their first President's Pack, enrolled 2 this week, and grabbed the Lulu bag in the team contest. Nice. We also have Lucy Birmingham, had 1 enrollment and created 1 consultant last week. She's also earned 110 points in the $1 Million Challenge. We have Joey Allen, Lori Hargreaves, Sarah Malinek, and Sam Bastilo, and Don Shiboyan rocked enrollments this week.
Yeah, I bet.
Can you start over?
Sure.
Can you guys start that over?
Your internet is cutting out or something. It's breaking up really bad, Blake. So.
Is it? Uh-oh, that's not good. So let's see here. We also have the top $5 million challenges are Kathleen Dugan, Mandy and Sam Bastilo, Jeannie and Mike Nader, Kelly Ankelman, Kathy and Mark Lambert. Jeff Johnston also enrolled 3 enrollments and a new consultant. And then on Jessica's team, we have Kelly Small nailed Crystal Director and is heading right for Crystal Executive with a launch party scheduled for this Friday. Jessica Willis enrolled 2 and is sharing with people all over the U.S. And Andrea Dickman completed her 3rd Isobody Challenge and enrolled 2 people last week. Nice job, guys. So Laura's team, we had Karen Pryor. She had her first launch party, enrolled 6, and created a consultant on the spot. Wow. Jewel Hansen, Alicia Grabe won Laura's top enroller contest last month and both enrolled 8 people. Sabrina Smith, John Fetcher, Rachel Meyer, Carrie Luther are all top enrollers this week. Laura Laurie and Kessa Maxwell are the top cyclers, and Amanda Codwell and Tina Middill are new consultants. Chris Marshall completed his first half marathon and crushed his time with the AMP products. Nice job. On Betsy's team, we got lots of people enrolling. Congrats go to Becky Battle with 2 enrollments, Peg Haycock, Kelly Costello, and Sandy Gilman. On Sandy Gilman's team is really engaging the power of the 3-way calls, hosting contests in her group, doing weekly Zoom calls, and meeting the fast track with the team. Congrats to Rhonda Hahn on a new consultant. And a big group from Chris Petrowski and Sandy Gilman teams are going to a Super Saturday in Seattle on October 8th. Woo! Nice job, everybody.
Thanks, Blake. It's just there.
Hello, everyone.
Jen's not here, just myself.
No, Jess. Jess.
Yep, Jessica Rigner. Can you hear me?
Barely. Can you up your volume, sweetie?
Can you hear me or see me?
Can't see.
You can't see me? What went out? Why did we go out? What do you mean we went out, guys?
We can hear you, but not super loud.
Start video? Okay, got it. Okay, now can you see me?
Yes, and hear you.
Okay, wonderful. Guys, I am so unbelievably excited to share with the unbelievable group of fast track people. One of my favorite people in Isogenics is going to be doing our leadership training tonight. Guys, her name's Jessica Johnston, and Jessica should be on the call. Jess, you here?
Hi.
Awesome. So guys, here's what I know about Jessica. She is an 8-star Crystal Executive. That means she's personally created 8 Crystal Executives, but this woman is an executive creating machine. She's a 9-star Platinum. She's an Isogenics millionaire. She's a wife, and she's the mother to 3 beautiful daughters, but being a mom comes first. She was an investment banker. Then she became the owner of 3 gyms, which she owned with her brother. And she came into Isogenics purely for the products. She is very passionate about what she does, but she has maxed out, if I'm correct on this, I didn't get this in her bio, but she's maxed out, I believe, 2.5 centers. So if there is a woman who can tell us, about Isogenics and how to grow your business and how to dominate, it's Jessica Johnston. So with that, let me introduce Jessica. Are you there?
Heck yeah. Now, my assistant obviously gave you that intro because I never would have given you any of that. Jessica, thank you so much for having me. And I know that these guys, there's like 7 Jessicas on the phone, and they're saying that your video is out, I think. And you're under Mary's name and you are blacked out. So just, you can restart that if you want so we can see your gorgeous face. All right, you want me to go ahead? I want to get started. You ready?
Go ahead, babe. I'm trying to work on the video, but in the meantime, we can see your gorgeous face. So that's all.
Oh, sweet. So, guys, I was, hi. First of all, thank you so much for having me. When Jessica asked me my credentials, my bio, I wrote her back, I'm a mother of 3 that loves to help people. And that's all I said, because honestly, that's all that's important here. And Jessica so graciously edifies me. She did it one time on a stage. I couldn't believe some of the sweet things that she said. And then here again tonight. And, you know, the only way you achieve millionaire and 9-star platinum and create executives is if your heart really is in the right place for this. And your authenticity and your genuineness will come out. So I want to start with a story of what I just did. So Zoom, I think, is amazing, but it also gives us times where we have to put makeup on. So I was just like globbing on some quick eyeliner so I didn't look like I was asleep and working out today. And I also, out of habit, picked up my perfume and I put my perfume on because I thought maybe if you could smell me over Zoom that it would make it better. But it was just part of the drill. So I've had an awesome journey in Isogenics. I actually just came up on 4 years. It's hard to believe. I said I was only going to do this for like 6 months. And now here we are. You know, it's funny to hear. I forget that I've maxed out 2.5 centers. And sometimes when I hear that, it reminds me that I've been called to do this, and that we actually did that in our first about 2.5 years, about 3 years. I have my own position, and then I have a gym position that we maxed out, both in about 2.5 years. And I'm working on my husband's position. We've got him to 5-star, and I'm just picking up my reentry. I've had my reentry, guys, for 2 years, and I didn't touch it till about 8 weeks ago. And that's just because I develop my organization for everyone else's benefit. And I think really when you give that way and you give back constantly, it comes back to you full circle, and it creates this warmth and this respect and this trust within your organization, within your team. And, you know, I never knew that's what I was doing until corporate sat me down and said, you're growing your business different than anyone else in the world. And you're also moving faster than anyone else in the world. Because even though they don't recognize my gym and my star levels and my pin levels, which is fine because it's not about that, I would have been an 18-star platinum in my first 2 years. And I really want to tell you, when corporate says, what are you doing? I say, I have no idea. You have to tell me what I'm doing, because I'm really just in this for my heart. And I really want you to go to back to that place of authenticity and back to that place of why you started doing this in the first place. And I want you to eliminate just momentarily, for a season, for a month or 2 months or 3 months. We know the compensation plan is brilliant, but stop thinking about it. You know, stop thinking about each PIB and each dollar, and think about the people that need this. And when you're always coming from that place, that really duplicates through your business, and it duplicates sideways and upways and downwards. And I think ultimately everyone will benefit. Now, I haven't done things perfectly, and I have made a lot of mistakes. Any leader is going to tell you that they've made a lot of mistakes, and those mistakes truly they're awesome, because we make sure no one else screws up like that. You know, sometimes we have to take a hit to realize, gosh, we didn't know that was coming. Now I'm not going to let anybody else do that. So I am the most grateful person in the world for my life, because of what I've been through with my health, for this opportunity, for this product line. You will never hear anything but tremendous gratitude, because I know what it's like to suffer. I know what it's like to be in a tough place. And you're only going to hear me speak positively about this experience and constantly take it back to authentically who you are. There's no, like I said at Celebration, there's no embellishment here. There is pure sincerity as you're growing this. This is a passion for people. This is an ability to help people. So when I sent Jessica my bio, it said I'm a mom of 3 that wants to help people. And that is all I need to be recognized for if I need the recognition. So remember why you started, remember why you're here. But I do have a topic I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to get a feel for what some of the other leaders in the company were sharing with you. You guys have unbelievable leadership in your organization. It is one of my absolute favorite teams to work with. I have always been invited and welcomed on this team, from Janny to Jessica and Betsy. I hug you every time I see you. And Lauren, I love that we have just this mutual respect and appreciation for each other, because I'm a one team girl. And I believe that Kathy Coover's binary comp plan needs to work together the way we need our binary to work together. And in our organization, I've done the best job I can getting everyone to work across lines, and it's worked. And there's a few stragglers and a few mean people, that happens, but we just, keep them straight or kick them out and remind them why they're here. But for the most part, 99.9% of my people love each other and they work together. And it's really magical. I just hung up with Travis Garza and said, I have something really special here. I don't tolerate drama. I don't tolerate negativity. I don't tolerate jealousy. And I think that that's trickled down through our team. And so you set the tone. And so I think a lot of you are either already leaders in this organization that I'm talking to tonight, or you're a rising leader. You feel it inside of you that you can be a leader. And I believe that you become a leader the minute you enroll somebody. You are now leading someone else to have a positive experience. So I want to give you something tangible. That's just a little bit of my background and where we come from. And I like to push that authenticity back into people and remind you, this isn't marketing. This isn't about making up stories or making it bigger than it is. It's about telling real stories. And every story can impact somebody else. And your story travels and it can impact more people. And no story is bigger than another. Everyone's is different, and it's who you are, and it's just what your situation is. So use it. It's the only situation. Your chapters of your life are your chapters. Use them. They can help people. We have a product you can stand behind. We have a compensation plan, like I said before, that's genius. This isn't going to let you down. So the only person that can let you down is yourself. But I like to just push that back into you. Be great. Be freaking great, guys. This is your time to do it. This is your company to do it. This is the team to do it on. And so we work together. And I hope that that'll keep trickling. I want to go and I want to give you something tangible. So I learned a little bit about what you guys talked about the last few weeks. I love this idea, fast track. I've talked to Tanya about it and Trudy, and I've got to do something similar. I did something similar this summer that was outrageously successful. So I want to kind of invite this back in. This was motivating me when Jessica reached out to me to talk to you guys. But I want to give you something tangible. And it was something that's on my heart for my team lately. And so I'm going to do the same training with my team at some point this week. But I want to talk tonight about going back to the basics of recruitment. Because recruiting is you have to continuously recruit. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Some of us recruit a team in and we get a bunch of enrollments, and then we spend a lot of time developing those people, and there's a beautiful thing that happens there, and there's a balance, and we want to grow people in the organization like we're doing now. Right now we are growing our people that are in. But you can never forget, and this was one of the hardest things for me to learn. I'm a developer of people, and I had to go back to the roots of the recruiting. So I come from this home of Patty and Herb Cepeda, who sponsored me, and Susan Miller. They couldn't be more different. Patty and Herb Cepeda are recruiters 98% of the time. Susan Miller is a developer. I took those two concepts and I combined them and I made my own, because I think both pieces are important. But as I began developing, I got very comfortable there. I got excited around excited people, and I stopped leaving that comfort zone of recruiting, that uncomfortable zone in recruiting, and going back out and reaching back out, because you constantly want to bring new energy into your business. So some of you are strong enrollers, and you have been, and some of you are maybe just looking at going consultant or getting, your first consultant, your second consultant. And so I want to emphasize the importance of recruiting. No matter how much you're developing your team and driving your lines, always be recruiting. And recruiting is a word you can take and use however you want. Introducing this to people, whatever you want to call it. Some people say the word prospecting, which I use a lot. I don't love it, but I use it. But I want to go back to this list. We have everybody create a list of people. As elementary as it sounds, I don't care if it's in your phone. I don't care if it's on your Facebook, contact list. Write it on paper. Actually, this is too funny. I have a new list I started today. You will always see me. It's always on me. I have lists like this of names of people. And I started one today on a napkin because I was thinking of people. I was thinking of people. So I was sitting in my car waiting on carpool thinking of people. So I wrote them down on a napkin in my car. I did. And it's sitting here in front of me to make sure that I reach out to these people this week. So when you're in the recruiting, that just means you're always talking to people. So it could be anywhere, any place, anybody. It could be anybody new in your newsfeed, somebody new that likes your post. You don't have to pounce on them, but just get them on your list. Write it down. This list, my original list is here somewhere, but this list has made me $2.2 million. That piece of paper has made me $2.2 million. Why? Because I love those people. I love those flipping people. And I help them love people. So I recruit, I reach out, I touch these people. I think that you guys probably do a lot of coaching on connecting and what it's like to connect, and don't overdo it and don't say too much and all of that. And that's not what I'm going to talk about. What I want to talk about is utilizing this list. Do not edit your list, because the people you least expect will surprise you. So the people that you're writing down saying they're going to be great, sometimes not so much. And the people that you erase 3 times and think they'll never do this, end up being amazing. So do not, I've learned this over 4 years. It's 4 years in this company, this experience talking. Don't edit your list. Touch everyone you can think of. You have no idea who is looking for this. No clue. And you don't know till you reach out to them. And you know that it's a process that you have to honor. You want to honor the planting of that seed. I have something for you that could be a solution, into giving them information or space or time, or they have to research, or it's just not a good time in their life to talk about it, or they don't have the capacity to handle it. Honor it. But you've done your job already. You've planted a seed that you might have a solution for them, whether it be for product or money. Seed is planted. Keep going, keep going, keep going. As they come along or they don't, circle back. Circle back. Drip on your seed. Water your seed. Put sunlight on your seed. And wait for it to come to you. Wait for it to sprout. Honor that process. I'm willing to bet that most of you didn't say yes the first time. The very first second you were presented Isagenix, I bet you didn't say yes. There's always a couple that say, I did. So there's always a few. But for the most part, that doesn't happen right away. So honor other people's process. We as humans get so impatient with the process sometimes. But this is a journey. Okay, so I love to tell people, and I do have a really good punchline of something that even changed the way that I think. I didn't hear it for 3 years in my business, and once I heard it, it became really profound, and I'm going to get there in a second. You know what, let me just go there now. I had somebody do this. So in your recruiting, and as you're making your list of 100, 200, 300. I have leaders who say your list should be no less than 250 people. You'd be surprised at how many people you know once you start writing down names. I had a new leader that came in. She left another company that's really all over the place right now. They build 8 teams. It was a very difficult compensation plan. She and I connected. We were friends at my daughter's school, and she came in and she went executive, and leaving this other company, she fell in the simplicity in our comp plan. And she went executive in 7 weeks. And that's fast for us. That's really fast. Her name's Eileen Kelgren. And she got on the very first call I had her speak on, and she said, when I enroll someone off my list, or I sit with somebody, or I'm in my recruiting phase, I'm always thinking in terms of 3s. So she's not thinking about enrolling 1 at a time. She's thinking about enrolling 3 at a time. So every conversation she has, her posture was different than mine. And at that point, before we heard that, probably different than most people's. And so she said, I'm going to start enrolling in 3s. So every time I recruit or I sit with somebody, I'm going to immediately tell them, because they don't know any different yet, and they don't know why it's good for them to bring in 2 people right away. They don't know yet. And they're open because they said they wanted to meet or talk. And so what do I do next? When's our call? What are we doing? Our call's at this time on Thursday. Can you do that? Great. Bring 2 people that might want to hear about this. Right? Might. We don't know if they will or not. They might think we're crazy, but bring 2 people. She'll go to lunch meetings with me. She would bring me as the 3-way, and the people would have more people there. And they didn't know why. This man showed up with other people from his office. He didn't know why. But it gave us a chance to talk about the brilliance and what this was. And so in her posture, in her mindset, it had just set the tone. And so the woman enrolls consultants like crazy.
Lauren, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I figured Jessica Rigner would just message her. She's got her direct contact to just say we dropped her and give her a second to call back in. And if not, we'll just keep going. But I'm pretty sure that just weird technical stuff, and she'll call back in. That was good. She was in a rhythm. Hope you guys got that. Go with 3s. I love that. People that might want to know it.
Mindset.
When you say that with posture, people come. People are like, oh yeah, I'll bring 2 people. I remember somebody else doing that. Somebody we met at Isoderby said that they say, listen, who brings 2 people? If you want to hear about this, I'm going to meet you at a coffee shop, bring 2 people that might want to hear about it. That's awesome.
Emily Vavra told us that, Jess.
And so did Sam Gassion from
That's right.
I let her know we lost her. I'm concerned she might be dropping some genius and we are missing it.
You know, Tanya Kirkpatrick does the same thing. You know, she talks in 3s, exactly like that. She has 40-some consultants in her first business. And we can't compare ourselves, but what I want to impress upon in that is just mindset. And that's all it is thinking differently than what you're used to thinking. So if what you're doing maybe isn't working, try something new and maybe go with that kind of, that focus of somebody wants to get healthy. Well, you know that they have friends. You know they do. And a lot of times people will just say, well, I just really want to try the product first. Well, yeah, but it's a money back guarantee and you might as well do this with a couple of other accountability partners. I focus on that verbiage. So, I mean, it's just painting a vision for people of getting a little money back right when they start. So she's brilliant at it.
Okay, so Jess just told me, she said, listen, her Wi-Fi just went out at her house. She said, please end on this. Build fast. Crawling to exec is difficult and painful. Building fast is brilliant. Then go back after and establish strong, consistent consultants. She said, thank you so much. Your team is amazing. Fast, success, love, speed, I think is the net.
I love that, Jess. Thank you, and thank you for setting that amazing guest speaker up tonight. I actually am going to introduce our next speaker, who's going to talk about some amazing, amazing products. I'm sure a lot of you are still trying to learn about the AMP line. That's part of our newest Isagenix product line. It's only about 9 months old. And there is no one better to do this than Mr. Fitness Champion. He's a fitness universe guru. He's also an ambassador for Team Isagenix, the Crystal Executive, hair line away from hitting 1-star Golden Circle. And he's a really, really good friend of mine and someone who's helped me on my own fitness and health journey. So I would love to bring to the call Aaron Hairston. Are you there?
I'm here, Lauren. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, what up?
What up? Well, thank you so much for having me, Lauren. I'm excited about the topic tonight.
We're fired up. It's all you.
Let's go. So Lauren reached out to me and wanted me to share a little bit about, really my bloodline, which is the AMP line. I'm just so excited about this because, early on in my Isagenix journey, I didn't have something like this. And, Isagenix really reached out to me and asked me, what would be something that I would like Isagenix to come out with. And, so I was looking for a pre-workout. I was looking for a post-workout. I was looking for a fast-acting carb. I was looking for a creatine supplement. I was looking for a nitric oxide. And so I sent that list into corporate, and they sent me back this sample. And it was actually early on what it is now is the AMP Power. And so I was really excited about this because now I can get rid of all the junk that I was consuming before because Isagenix didn't have that. So now I have a full line. So we'll start off with the AMP Power. The AMP Power actually is like a 3-in-1. It has creatine in it, it has androstenedione in it, and it has BCAAs in it. So it's actually like one of the most powerful pre-workouts I've ever used. Androstenedione really helps to improve the blood flow in your body. Creatine kind of primes the muscle, a little bit with the ATP, which is kind of the energy the body uses, early on. And then the BCAAs is just branched chain amino acids, which is amazing. Being able to give your body the branched chain amino acids early on into your workout is very, very key because it helps to slow down the breakdown of the muscles while you're working out. So that's one of my favorite products. Next is the Recovery. So the AMP Recovery, it's a branched chain amino acid. It's phenomenal. It's all natural, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial ingredients, no red number 4, no blue number 5. I mean, it's something I'm really excited about. And, early on, when they introduced this, one of the doctors in the company suggested that we actually use it as a pre-workout as well or during your workout. And again, using those branched chain amino acids are huge when really, priming the muscle and supporting the muscle through a strenuous workout. So I actually use it during and after my workout. I like to mix it up a little bit with fruits. It's really awesome as well. The next is the Nox. Now the Nox is, it's a nitric oxide. It's red spinach, beets, and and celery. 3 of the most potent nitric oxide vegetables that was found on Earth. And so these 3 items are just very, very powerful. There's actually a 2-hour load. So what I do is I train 5:30 in the morning, and so I take it before I go to bed. And that, and that's really allowing the time to be able to get into my bloodstream. I take it every evening before bed, and they actually say that's a 6-day load. So if you're leading up into an event, may say a marathon or a 5K or any type of exercise that you're going to participate in, then going ahead and making sure you do it 6 days out is optimal. For maximum absorption and effectiveness. So that's our AMP Nox. Next up is our AMP Fuel. Now AMP Fuel, it's very cool when you can actually have a fast-acting carb without using sugar. And, a lot of the sugars out there, like a dextrose and things like that, is what we used to use. And, having apple puree and molasses and, and actually having 1,000 milligrams of branched chain amino acids in a fast-acting carb is amazing. So now we can walk up to those marathon users that are using other goo packs and things like that to kind of give them a little bit of juice, a little more glycogen in their muscles. They can actually use something that's all natural. So what I use it for is right in between my workouts. So if I'm using like a chest try day, right in between that middle after chest. I go ahead and hit it, wait about, 5-10 minutes or so, and then I go ahead and hit my triceps. What I like to do with that is because I'm just fueling. I'm refueling my body, getting the glycogen stores or that fuel source back up so I can go ahead and hit the triceps 100%. So there's different areas of usage for this. It's not your typical weight loss supplement, but because it is a carbohydrate, so it's going to definitely give your body a little fuel source and come off that fat for a little while. But it is a great resource when you need a fast-acting carb. And so, the AMP line is an amazing program. I mean, having something that's, all natural, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial flavors, because everything out there has that. And then you look at it, the caffeine, right? I mean, that's where most pre-workouts, are found in the caffeine aisle. And so we don't have any stimulants in our stuff. It's all natural. It's going to fuel the body naturally in which way you want it to be. So it's sustainable. You don't have to cycle on and off of it. I use it every single day, and I love it. And so I would love to see if anyone had any questions. I don't know if you want to open up for questions about the AMP line, but I would love to answer a few, Lauren.
You're so sweet. We're going to keep them moving, but you might get some messages or whatever. But we really appreciate you, and thank you for hopping on. And we hope you stay on for the rest of the call. And that was great, great, great info. Absolutely.
I hope to see all you out there in Colorado real soon.
Yes. Okay. Second.
Let's go. Turn up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're moving on to our belief section, and Blake, take it away.
All right, guys, I'm going to teach you about belief and share with you my wife and mine's own personal journey with Isagenix. And I personally believe that it is the Isagenix vehicle that has led us to exactly this moment to share this opportunity of our story, because it is all these stories that you hear that build your belief that you are with the right product, you are with the right company, you are with the right people. Because as of 2 hours ago, my wife went to go be with her family. She went to go be with her family because 2 hours ago, her grandmother just passed away. Now, as our belief, I want to take you back 2 years where all this started to get us to this moment. So for us, it was back in January of 2014 in the spring and summer. My wife wasn't feeling the way that she recognized that she wanted to feel. She had put on weight and wasn't going in a direction that she wanted to. That's when our good friend Betsy came to my wife and shared this opportunity with her. My wife didn't immediately believe maybe the product would work, and Betsy continued to share stories with us. My wife did jump on a 30-day system and had great results, and I supported her in that. I was not using the products. It was purely just for my wife. As my wife continued after that 30 days, she realized the ways that she felt and how the products worked, and she wanted to do another system, which I supported her on. And of course, some of her girlfriends started to ask what she was doing, so she shared the products with a few people. She never had any intention to build this business and become what we are today and continue to do. But she shared those products and continued to go on with the season, just happily product user. Betsy continued to support us and show us visions and opportunities and stories. And it was in the January of 2015 that Betsy encouraged my wife to go to New Year Kickoff, to go to one of the events. My wife was very hesitant. It wasn't something she was ever pushing towards to. She just wanted to be a happy product user, but she wanted to see more about what it is and learn about the products and certainly see what the opportunity was. So she went to that event. Now, keep in mind, I haven't been using the products at all. And that's when my wife came back to New Year Kickoff, and I saw my wife and something changed. And again, there's already something that changes when you use these products. But when something changes when you come back from something, and again, my wife's been to training events and other things in life, something happened here. And you could tell there was a glow about my wife. There was a purpose. There was a why. I still didn't get any of it. All I knew is my wife, something emotionally had changed. And she was on a mission. Whatever that mission was, I didn't know what it was. Of course, her first mission was to get her husband started on these products. And that's when I started my journey with the Isagenix products, was that same January of 2015. It was my 4-day journey that obviously I was hooked on the products and immediately got into the IsaBody Challenge and everything else this company has to offer. My wife continued to share these products and team up with people and use the tools to get to where we are today. And it was one of our beliefs that we knew that, one, could these products work for us? And we obviously became firm believers in that. Then it became, could this product in Isagenix be a vehicle to serve some dreams and some beliefs that we had? And one of those beliefs is what we are at right now, is our belief that we could use the Isagenix products, systems, and business, that we could use this vehicle, because what we were facing is our parents, our grandparents had all moved to southern Utah, and we were up in Washington State. And our parents had moved down here to help our ailing grandparents. They had retired here in southern Utah 11 years ago, and that health was starting to catch up. My wife realized that she wanted to be with her family during this opportunity, and it was this vehicle that we were going to use to get to see this family. It is by everything that we've been having as far as the love, the friendships, the supports that this company offers, and the people that we've been able to help that fueled that belief. We took that belief and we sold our home and we moved down here to southern Utah in May and June of this year. My wife got to spend about 4 months with her grandma. She's just down the street, could visit her whenever she wanted to, instead of having to call her or talk to her. And she's with her right now. And it's obviously an important part for me, because it's this opportunity that I'm still here to share this story, that you know that these products can do amazing things beyond your wildest imagination. Some of the stories you guys hear are just almost legendary. I mean, they're amazing. And we've seen awesome transformations with the IsaBody, and we've seen amazing opportunities for people. And what's incredible is we're all doing the same stuff. We're all using the same products. We're all reading the same books. Me and my wife, I mean, we're going to sell a home and we're going to move down to southern Utah. We don't know anybody. I mean, we're going to leave everything that we have for this opportunity to be near our family. What did we bank on? The same tools you guys are all banking on. We knew we could start another 90-day game plan, and this thing would fire right up from right where we were at and to where we are today. And so I just want to encourage all of you to use the tools that you have available to you. They're the same tools I read, the same tools that the events that I've gone to, and they will impact and change your life, and continue to see these stories. And I encourage you to share your story. Is whatever it is, everybody has their moments, their transformations. And if you don't feel you have that story, use someone's stories. I just saw somebody, because you don't know what somebody else's story is and what they need to move into. I didn't know that we'd be moving to Utah when I started Isagenix, but I'm thankful that I have Isagenix and this opportunity to be where we're at right now. And then my wife is where she is right now, because she was supposed to be talking tonight with you guys. So that's my story for belief for you guys, and encourage you to again, do everything you can.
Blake, that was awesome. And we are for sure sending love and prayers to your family. Betsy had told me and Janny and Jess, and I didn't know you were going to share that. So we're all here for you. And thank you for just pouring your heart and being so vulnerable. Tonight, I get to introduce Betsy Frame as our lead trainer tonight. And I want to just share a fun, quick story about Betsy, because I love her. And even though she is a dynamic red and a natural leader, and she is an amazing teacher and just has the systems to really launch people forward, you guys, part of the leaders that she has created and people in her downline, so that you know, I mean, the work behind so many of these people is the brilliance of Betsy Frame. But I mean, she has Tracy O'Malley and Jill Bowman and Trudy and Tanya Kirkpatrick. I mean, there is so much wisdom and grace coming from her. But I remember one of the times that Janny wanted to introduce me to this 10-star platinum Isagenix millionaire, and I was like shaky, and I'm like, why do you want me to talk to Betsy? Why do you want me to talk to Betsy? And she's like, you're gonna love her. She's so fun. And I met her because she taught this amazing yoga class in at Top Achievers, and she was super fun and super extraordinary. But it's been great to be on Fast Track with you. You are such a light. You are a yoga instructor. You guys, she's a wife, she's a mom, but she is brilliant when it comes to teaching Isagenix. So I'm going to introduce you and let you take it away, girl.
Thanks, Lauren. You're so cute. Blake, that was amazing. Thank you again for sharing with your heart. Gosh, after all that, I just want you to know I'm a normal mom, a mom of 3, just like Jess was saying. You know, that was brilliant what she poured into us, just about being who you are, being authentic. Tonight we're going to talk about, you know, it's repetitive with this 90-day game plan. It's staying in the game, staying in the game plan. We're going to talk about mindset, sharing and connecting, time management. So those are kind of the topics tonight. But I just want to say that, you know, we definitely go to work to overcomplicate things. We do. This is, like Blake said, got the same 90-day game plan. We've all got the same tools. We don't have to elaborate anything. We don't have to overtalk the product. We know the product works. This tonight could sound a little bit like a broken record, but I want to do that intentionally because I want to keep that simplicity in your head. I think we work too hard at going to work at this instead of just sharing it simply. So what I want you to put blinders on. You know, when Jess was talking about maybe her list of 200 or 300 people and other people's, I love that, but that could sound overwhelming. Don't let it. Look at your phone. Really, just look at your contacts in your phone. Get real with yourself. This is all up here. It is more up here than it is anywhere else. Yes, you have to recruit. Do I like that word? No. Yes, you have to share. You have to open your mouth. You have to talk to people. But that's not hard. You know, when you go out, move it into, we'll talk about time management, but move this around your real life. Jess is busy. She has 3 kids. Some people work full time. I never want anyone to quit their job to go, I'm going to do Isogenics now. No, work it around your job. Keep your income. Be stable. Be smart. Work this around and then do the flip if you have an income increase like that, which you will eventually. But it's all about fall into simplicity of the comp plan. I love what Jess said. She just, all her team is falling in love. That one girl that went executive in 8 weeks, she just, from another company, she fell in love with the simplicity of our comp plan. You guys, this was my first company. This is an unbelievable opportunity. So some days when we think this is hard, it's really not. Don't overcomplicate it. So, you know, when you're talking to people, so we're going to first talk about mindset and then just sharing and talking to people. I think this is really important. And I've said this probably, I don't know, 100 times, that people just want to know 3 things. Janny and I talked about this. This is 7 years old. I mean, this is so basic. They want to know 3 things. They want to know, is it going to work? How much does it cost? How do I get it? 1, 2, 3. You put that in your brain, so when you share, that's what's coming out of your mouth. Gosh, this product works. This is amazing. It's a money-back guarantee. Okay, they already know the product works. I just ordered this online. I have my own online grocery store. So they don't wait for their question on it. You know, you just bullet a few things in that story. And then when the money comes up, I love this. I love putting people at ease. So put them at ease and tell them we have a pack for everybody, for their budget, for their goals. That's what I love about Isogenics. We're going to find the perfect thing for you. And then stop talking. So I think in that sharing, you know, it's just going into it with some of that in your head. And that's a little bit of, I mean, you have to train on that. I had to learn that. I had to answer their questions before they had them. And it was easy that way. I think that, like Jess said, be who you are, be authentic. The products, we don't have to elaborate, make up weird stories or so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. It's no. It's the product works. It's that simple. What Jess Johnston also said at Celebration, which is amazing, is people come from a place of trust and come from that instead of coming from dollar signs. So really think about who you're talking to and really caring for them. You care about what they want. It's not just, oh my gosh, she's going to be an amazing builder. She has so many connections, blah, blah, blah. You heard her. Those people may not ever pan out. Those people may never pan out. It's the happy little skinny product girl like Kelly Dickerhoof that just had an amazing transformation after 4 days. Okay, look what she's done. So, you know, we don't compare, don't ever, it's like the 4 agreements, I've talked about that before. Don't assume on people. Don't just think, oh, you know, she doesn't need this, or you look at every person overweight. I wish I'd get him on Isagenix. She needs it, she needs it, she needs it. Don't look at those people. Look at everyone as their own person and make your connections with your friends. People buy from you because they know you, they like you, they trust you. Okay? So just operate from that authentic platform and be a go-giver. I mean, it's one of my favorite books. I talk about it. I still talk about it. It's a short read, but really that's what Jess was talking about. So, you know, have a come to Jesus meeting with yourself and decide in your own mindset, what do you want? What is it you really want? Do you want to do this, or do you just want to talk about doing it? You know, and you're going to have to start carving away that time. There's time management involved in this. I've heard top leaders talk on time management. And some people will say, well, you're going to get out of balance for a while. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that. It doesn't mean they're wrong, but in their mind, maybe they got out of balance for a little bit. But you're either all in. I mean, you decide you want a hobby, you want a full-time income. It's all mindset. It's all deciding what you want and then going for it. But I think that time management is important because you've got to remember that the spot in your family that you represent. So you have to have a little bit of balance. You have to put it down. You have to, I don't know if you guys follow Lynn Hagedorn. She's on the Greek islands going on a cruise right now. And she's reminded that she needs to unplug. That's vital. You have to unplug. But you can't leave your business either. You can't leave it and then put it down for 3 weeks and then just pick it up again. You have to touch on it every day. You'll have to figure out when that is. Well, I work full time. I'm a single parent, blah, 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 blah. I mean, everyone has lots of reasons to not make this work. But how bad, pick your bad. Pick your bad. How bad do you want to, you know, what is worse? Do you want to not, you know, struggle, not pay the bills, have a miserable life, be around negative people, or what do you want? Maybe stay up, maybe get up an hour earlier, maybe stay up an hour later. What is it? Pick your hard. So the other thing I want to kind of touch on with time management, I thought this was interesting in the 90-Day Game Plan book on page 30 and 31. It actually gives you schedules to follow. Have you all looked at that? And maybe you have or maybe you haven't, but sometimes people need something to formally get it down on paper, visually look at it. Susan Sly also does a great training. She also has a book on time management. You know, I kind of fumbled through it all. I didn't do a lot of time, you know, spending too much time in getting ready to get ready. I just kind of ran, but I'd always set a goal. You always have to have a goal all the time. Like last week or the week before when I trained, I just talked endlessly about your, I'm going to open up the grid, about your accountability partner. Raise your hand if you're still doing your accountability partner. Wave at me. Wave at me. Look on the screen, you guys. So there's some people that are doing it and there's some that are not waving. I'm telling you, when you have to report in a way, when you have to have a friend that you tell who you're talking to, who'd you do the 3x3x3 with today? That's when it gets uncomfortable, right? Because maybe you didn't do the 3x3x3 today, and you don't want to tell that person you didn't. But don't forget, you're human. We're only doing the best we can. But if you want to step into your own power, you got to step up the game. And I believe that coming into that leadership mode, like what Jess said, when you enroll somebody, you're now a leader. Well, you're going to coach them on the product, right? You're going to help them get started. You're leading them. Well, the same thing starts to happen in your own team. You know, I like to coach my people at a certain point that they maybe start their own little group, their own little Facebook group. Then you can run your own little contests, motivational challenges, whatever you want to do, but you got to be devoted to it. You know, you got to just take it and attack it. And so are you too scared to maybe do that? Because it's much easier to just get on calls with people. But you tell me you want to do the business, so you got to go for the leadership. You can't hide behind everybody else being the leader. You got to step in and be the leader of your group. So, you know, there's different ideas in stepping into leadership. So let's say, well, I've only enrolled 8 people. Well, wow, that's a lot of people to lead. You know, you could do a Facebook thread, for a private message Facebook thread with that small group right now. I mean, I've got threads and threads and threads of different pods of people that I'll do different things with in my whole group. So, you know, step into that. You know, I think this week would be really smart to do like a business building activity for your group, for your team, whatever it is. Maybe you only have a couple of people that are interested in sharing. We'll do a little promotion with them. I mean, Sandy Gilman last week on her Zoom call, she had a challenge of 3-way calls because we were always talking about 3-way calls. So she did like do 3-way calls, you'll enter in for, you know, blah, blah. It was a box of icy delights or something. But it was a business building activity. So, you know, are you doing those things to help everybody step forward into doing activities that matter? 3-way calls matter. And what the feedback was from that week, of just 1 week of that challenge, was everyone had fun on the 3-way calls. They had success on the 3-way calls. Somebody enrolled a president's pack on the 3-way call. So, you know, when you think of those ideas, get creative. Maybe you need to start with 1 idea a week. Maybe you're one of those go-getters and you're like, oh, I need a new idea every day. What can I do every day? You know, so it's up to you. You decide. I remember when I stepped foot on a college campus, I was a little teeny farm girl from a podunk town, and I went to this huge university, the University of Missouri. There were 25,000 people there. I didn't know one person because my roommate bailed out on me 4 weeks before school. As soon as my parents dropped me off, I started crying. I went in the bathroom and I cried. And then I came out and I thought, wow, I'm going to have to do this. There's nobody here to help me do anything. I've got to do this. And I kind of think Isogenics is that way. In a way, of course we have our big, lovely team supporting. We love each other, rah, rah, here and there. But really, you have to decide. You have to do it. That hit me at the 2-year mark, you guys. I'm not saying, oh, I've only been apart, you know, for 3 months and you get it like that. It took me 2 years to decide that I was going to be the leader. I didn't need my upline to call Travis Garza to message a question. And that's when it was smaller. I mean, we're talking 4 or 5 years ago. So step into that, decide what you want, and then go after it. And if you want ideas, message people you like to follow. Who are those people that you listen to calls on? Who are those people you like? You know, who do you relate with? What do you think about this idea? What do you think about this idea? And then just get a little feedback going with some leaders, but do your own thing. Because look at all the people that are successful in isogenics. They're all doing their own thing. Is there any certain one way to do it? You heard what Jess said. She had this leader doing it this way, this leader, she merged them. That's what worked for her. So you find what works and just kind of get in your groove. But that's kind of, challenges within the team. I think recognition and celebration is really important. We've got that $1 million challenge. You can look in your back office and your downline and just, constantly recognize people. People love recognition. So challenge yourself in that time management of, spending a little time on getting some things going that are just different. Like what we talked about that one time, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and not getting anywhere. So change it up. So what is it you want to do for homework? I mean, I'm sure Jess or Lauren will pop on in a minute and talk about that, but I want to challenge everybody to do some kind of a business building activity within your group. And maybe you've never had a group. You're not sure who your group is. Well, if you're on this call, you've probably enrolled a few people. So that's your group. You might have just one person that's interested in sharing. Well, then get something going with them.
Awesome. Betsy, you rock my world. I love it.
I guess that's it.
You're fantastic. Can you hear me okay, Betsy?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I will close us out. And here's what I'll tell you. I loved what you said. And here's what I say. If you distill down what you're talking about, it boils down to this. It boils down to you own your own business. Your success or failure has nothing to do with anyone else. The people on my team that will soar, they can't look at me and give me the credit. They own their own business, and you do too. And so what this week is about is personal accountability, owning the authenticity and doing the work that it takes to own what you deserve, to impact people and to create something that people will look at and go, wow, I'm going to message them because they inspire. And I don't care who you are, leaders have lists. Jessica Johnston's made over $2 million in less than 4 years, and she does it with a list on a napkin that she wrote today. So if you think you're above having a list, then let's take it back to basics. Let's remake a list of 100 people. I will tell you, that is one thing that Janny has always drilled into Lauren and I, is that we're always remaking a list. If you've ever been with me and seen the scraps of paper that I have laying around, they're names of people on a list. And guess when you come off the list? Never, because as Betsy said earlier, it's a season. People have a season for when they're ready, and the season changes every 30 days. And when you're not there, shame on you, because people are ready. And here's what I'll tell you. Some people know that we have a 3-year-old foster son, so I've been out of strollers for a really long time. But I now have a need for pushing him around different soccer venues, and he travels around with us. And we have this raggedy old stroller, and I've said, I am not going to invest in one of those expensive jogging strollers until last Saturday when I could barely push the stroller, and I'm logged down, and I took a picture, and I said, now I will spend any amount on a stroller. If you were a stroller salesman and you had strollers on the side of the road and you said $1,000, I would have said, sold. I will take any stroller you have, because the season for me to buy a stroller was the day I felt the pain enough to know I needed one. And that's what's going to happen to people in your life. They're going to feel the pain so great that they know they need change. And the only way they're going to know that you can help them is if you're there. So remake your list. The homework is to remake a list of 100 people, because leaders have lists, and because you're a leader if you're on this call. 100 people, right? If you're in 10 different spheres of influence, it's only 10 people from each. So if you go to a place of worship, 10 from there. If you have kids in school, 10 from there. If you went to high school or elementary school, you need 10 circles of influence and 10 people from each, and that's 100 people. Make a list of 100 people, write it down on paper or screenshot it in some way and post it in the group. That shows you're accountable. Leaders go first. The second thing is, next week, there's going to be a big push on welcome calls. Eric Cooper called me today at 3 o'clock and he said, one of the things he's seeing is that every leader is doing an opportunity call or a meeting on a weekly basis. Make sure that next week you have something lined up personally or someone you've personally enrolled that you're doing a launch event. There's no excuses because you can do them via Zoom. You can do them via conference call. They can last 15 minutes and just be an insight. But those are the two things that we should focus on this week because leaders go first and you're a leader. So a list of 100, you're remaking a list, 100 people, and you're posting it. And the second thing is you're doing a launch party this week or next week, you personally, or with someone you enrolled, or both, because you're that good and you own your business and you're fully accountable. And everyone does it differently and you'll do it your way. Let's end this way, the way that we really deserve to step into our power. And we're going to say, yes, we can. Yeah, we're actually going to say it this way because it's accountability. We're going to say, yes, I can. So let's change it up. All right, everybody? 3 times.
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Let's go home, and then
you guys are awesome. Yes,
we
you
need to.
can.
Yes, I can.
Rock.
Yeah.